We all experience loss at some time in our life, whether it be the loss of a job, our health, a marriage, a home, a beloved pet, and worst of all, the loss of a loved one. And this can also often leave us feeling a sense of despair and a loss of hope in our lives. I've helped many of my clients over these hurdles in life and to really deal with this grief in a positive, healthy way through mindfulness. And today I'd like to share 3 of those mindfulness tips with you to help you better cope and to give you some renewed hope. This is the Coach That Cares, Laura Graziano, creator of Personal Best coaching and programs to help you be the best you and help you heal, grow, and flourish to your full potential in life. So, thinking about grief, there are a lot of stages of grief, and the first mindfulness tool that I'd like you to focus on is to be mindful of your feelings. When something traumatic, a traumatic loss happens in life, we often look to other people for how they're processing things. And it really is helpful for us to go with our own flow. We each process grief in a different way, and what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. You know, some of us need to cry it out. Some of us need to talk to someone or pray or take a long walk, maybe by a beach, or just be alone with themselves quietly. So this is your time to be mindful of what works for you. Be mindful of your feelings and try to go with the flow. Don't jump into anything all at once. Let the dust settle a little bit and go with your natural flow of things and allow time to help you process your feelings. So that's number 1. Be mindful of your feelings and go with your flow. Number 2, be mindful of your thoughts. And don't let yourself get into that state of despair where it's the negative rabbit hole where you see yourself going down and, just isolating yourself and removing yourself from life. Try to focus on something, even if it's very, very tiny, a blessing that you can find in the pain, even if it's the smallest thing. My daughter just found out this week that her little Bijan, her little dog Benny, he has a life-threatening heart condition. He has a tumor on his heart. And initially, this dog is like a child to her, and she was so upset. But now she's focusing on some holistic ways to help him and celebrating every day when he seems a little bit better and he's eating his food and focusing on the positive things that you can be doing. A few years back, my dad, he weakened his heart working in his garden at age 105. And he came to my home and we cared for him for 5 weeks before he passed here. And it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in life. But the blessing in all of that was how my family rallied together to care for him. And we created this beautiful circle of love that I know he felt. And it gave me an incredible amount of comfort after his passing when I focused on that instead of, my grief. I was able to find that blessing. So be mindful of your thoughts and try to find the blessing even amidst the pain, even if it's so small. Each day find some blessing you can be thankful for. And number 3, be mindful of your spiritual connection. We all have a spiritual nature to us, and in times of loss, it's so important for us to foster that connection for ourselves. And that may look differently for each of us, but it's a place where we can allow ourselves to enter a prayerful state Be it some of us can do that through time spent alone in nature, maybe walking on a quiet beach at sunset, or perhaps it's by, sitting in a church alone, or even meditating, or just immersing yourself in prayer. But a place where you can really be still and allow the presence and grace of a higher power, be it God or whatever your beliefs are, where that can take you to help you transcend to a place where you can find some comfort and peace. And in that, I think you will find an inner knowing that this is all part of life and things eventually will be okay. That's for your own future, but also when you're missing your loved one, I really believe that in this sacred space, there's a place of grace there where we feel that our loved one resides. And this is that place of grace, be it heaven or whatever you'd like to call it, that other dimension that we know our loved one is okay, no longer in pain, and that they're okay. And maybe we can even speak to them in that plane and have a sense of comfort and peace ourselves in that state of sacred grace. So I hope these 3 mindful tips, mindful tools, be mindful of your feelings, let your feelings flow and go with them. Don't go down, be mindful of your thoughts, don't go down the rabbit hole of negativity and find the blessing in the pain. And third, be mindful of your spiritual connection and foster that space of grace. I hope this brings you some comfort amidst any loss you may be experiencing. And please look for more mindful moments. And if you found these tips helpful, subscribe to my channel and like this, and look for more mindful moments in the future. Wishing you well and wishing you light for tomorrow. Take care.